Hello guys, today we learn how to save employee name and their image using post method in ASP.NET MVC5 Web API. For this, you have required Visual Studio 2015 and SQL Server 2012 or higher version. Now let us start what we need. First need a table to save the data like table name employee details and employee ID, employee name and employee photo. And here is employee ID, a primary key cluster. Yeah, primary key cluster ID. Now what will be the input from the client application like employee name, employee ID, employee name and employee photo. Employee photo must be a full URL. If in localhost, then full path. If it will in production, then full URL will be required. When passing through the client or Postman, or you will get the record inserted successfully. If you will fail, you get any message for insertion fails. Now, how to create, what need to follow? Let us see. Steps need to follow to make a post method of web API to save employee name and their photo. First, need add a edu.NET entry model in a model folders. Then add a new class for view model. You can put any name. Then you need to add a controller to write a code to save the data in database for the post method. And after that, if you created the web API with post method, then need to test using Postman or directly from the client application. So let us start to create a web API. Click on Visual Studio. Now go to File, click New Project. Now I have to choose Visual C Sharp ASP.NET Web application. Name of application save employee, and also you can put the name of directory where your application will be saved. Same name you can put and click on OK. Now you will get ASP.NET 4.6.1 template. Choose empty and from folders and code reference is MVC and Web API and click on configure Microsoft Azure web setting. Now present you can cancel it. So you can see our application same employee photo will be created, and you can see different folder like controllers, model and scripts. So what is the first step? Add to edu.NET entity model. So click on models and right click on this model and click new items. So when you need to go data and choose edu.NET entity data model and click on that. So you choose model contents. What should the model contain? EF designer from database. Click on next. So here is which data connection should your application use? Connect to database. So click new. I need to put here server name. It may be your PC name or IP address of database. So I PC name is this and paste here. In case of your PC name, you can put here server name and choose authentication SQL server. Put here username and password what you have set on your DB and select or enter database name. So test sample, I have selected the database name and click on test connection. So you can see test connection succeeded. Click on OK. Now again click on OK. So now click on yes and then next. You need to choose entry framework version, entry framework 6 and click on next. Now whatever I have created the table in database, sample database employee details. So need to add this in the model. Which database objects do you want to include in your model? So I need to check employee data, MP details, and test sample models. That is the connection string names maybe. And now click finish. Click on OK. Click on OK. So you can see our model1.edmx file will be created with properties employee ID, employee name, employee phone. Also you can see here that is models folder and there model1 edmx file created. When you check model1.tt, so there is employee data details. So you can see here partial class will be created employee details with their property. Now our next step is create a view model. So for how can we create? Click on models, add class and put the name of the models view model emp photo and click on add. For this also we need to require what property for field you want to use. How can I use prop? Click on double tab, so you get like this public integer my property gets set. So accordingly you can change my party name, my property with the your name. So you can see here public long employee id gets set and public string employee name, public string employee photo, all will be one is integer other is string. So I have created now view model employee photo. Our next step is create a controller for a web API. So what we will do? Go to controllers, right click on this and add controllers. I need to choose web APIs to controller empty and click on add. You need to put the name of controllers like emp photo save controller name and click on add. So you can see here our controller will be created. Now we need to create a push method. So let us see. I have put here route add imply photo for customize URL and HTTP push method. I have put here I public HTTP action result, that is the web API 2.0, and add imply photo, and I need to make object of view model class. So what is our view model class? View model photo. So I can put here view model photo make object of this. Also need to add the namespace for this. So go to move cursor here and click on hello. You can see use save imply photo and click on this. Your namespace will be added for these object models. Now I have write to some codes. This is view model photo that will objects comes from the JSON clients. So what is this? You have already made the public class for this view model photo. Now I need to write some code. Here you can see I have given a custom URL for this push method. So also need to put route prefix. Route prefix web URL will be like in emp API add imply photos can be accessed through this one. Now also you write connection string, make object of connection strings. So I put private test sample entities db new sample entities. I am already written code here, so now need to copy and paste, and now we will understand how can this. Let us see. You can see make object imply details. What is imply details? You can see here when you created the model, so partial class will be created, imply details. So you can see imply details object imply insert equal to new imply details, and object of imply insert dot imply id imply photo object dot imply id, and object insert imply name equal to photo dot imply name, which comes through the web API, which comes through the basically direct from the client or Postman. So we can access this and assign to in this object, and after that you can see where photo equal to save image. Now for emp photo means I am passing the URL to this method save image, so also need to write the save image methods to save the photo in the systems. So need to add namespace at, so you can see save image. I have written here save image string image str. This is image URL basically. You can write string image URL, and so see here save image URL, that is the full path you will get. And where do you want to save the image in our system? So I put here string path http context server.map path uploads photo. So also need to make a one uploads folder and then init photo. So what we will do, right click, add new folders, uploads, and then what I also write one add to new folder also in uploads, then add new and put photo. So I have created a directory uploads then. So our path where our image will be saved in the directory, and name only name will be saved in the database. So see here, check if directory exists, not system input output directory exists path, and if directory not exist you can create a directory if does not exist, and get the file name basically where file name equal to path. Also need to add namespace system.io, get file name, then image URL, and I assign the variable file name to image name string image name equal to file name. Now here I am combining string image path equal to path dot combine path and image name. Then download the image from the URL. So I have write a code web client wc equal to new web client, and need to add header for this wc headers dot add content image jpeg, and then after that wc downloads file image URL full URL, and then image path where our data will be saved. So this way our image will be saved in the folders uploads of photo, and then return the file name when image will be saved, and after saving the image we return the file name to these functions. And when you will go top, so where photo equal to save image, after saving the image you get the name of the photo, so photo assign the variable, and after assigning the variable like object imply insert dot implies photo equal to photo, then through the intuitive framework how to write to save insert the data, so db dot imply details, that is table name dot add object of imply insert, whichever I am assigning the value from model to these objects, and then after that we can write the db dot save changes, so data will be saved in database. After that where response we created new response like this is the request create response http status dot created and record save successfully, it will return to the client, and after that return response message response. So this way we can write the code to save the data and their image in the data will be saved in database, and image name will be saved in database, and image will be saved in the folders. So once again see the code, and then saving the image in the folders, uploads photo. This is the code. Now run the application and check whether our application with push method will be working fine or not. Let us see breakpoint run. So you can see here our application will be run, but that this is a push method. Then we require a postman. So what we will do, that is localhost. So see, open postman, click add new, choose a postman, post method, click this one, and what also need to put, see here, that is the route prefix emp API put here. Then after that need to method name, that is the action result method add imply photo also, but you have custom URI, so add emp photo. You can take here and put here. Now I need to pass the data in JSON format, so choose raw and text JSON applications. Now I put to passing the URL JSON format. So what will be, go here, take the value, need to change the employee ID because I have defined here unique. So let us see whether data 101 is present or not in our DB. 101 is there, so you can put here 103. I put here 103. A name of employee Lone, and employee photo is this, that is the full URL. Because here I am using the local machine, and I put here full path of the image. In the case of staging server or production server, need to your full name. So push method, using push method and URL, and in body we have choose JSON application, then need to click on send. So you can see our add emp photo comes in debug mode, and cursor will be here when click F10. So whether data will come or not, need to check with model. So get here object employee, and you can see here employee name lonely, employee photo, URL, and employee ID 103. This comes from the Postman with JSON data. So what further I have done, I make object of employee details, and here I am initializing the value of model to these objects. After that, here I retain a code to save the image, and in photo we get the name of the image, and after name of the image in this view sweeping, we initialize the value of employee photo to this value, and then after that you can see db employee details add object employee dot insert and db save changes. This way data will be saved in database. After saving the data in database, also we need to send the response to user, either data is saved or not. So I have create one response request dot create response, http status code dot created, and here we can create a record save successfully and return response message. So you can see response will be created like status code 201 region phrase created and version this, and F10. Now you can see the response from the web API record successfully. So you can see here passing I have created a post method for saving the employee ID, name and their image. So this data comes through posting using Postman and data will be saved here in database. So need to check whether either save or not. So run this query. So you can see that employee ID 103 Lonely and photo will be saved here. You can change the employee photo name, and for uniqueness you can add UID also, and whether photo is saved in not folder you can see, go to see and right click and open folder in file explorer. You can see our photo will be saved in this location. So you can see here you can save the data passing through the postman and basic parameter like method post, URL and JSON as a format. Also in mind here how can post the data from client machine. So you need to like use the C server console application and see how can directly push from client machine to this local server or web production. So come to this point, go to client application to consume the push method to save the data, imply details and their image. So how can we write? Let us see. Open Visual Studio, go to File, New, and I have to choose Project. Here I am taking console applications. Put here consume emp photo push method. Here I am taking a console application for better understanding. You can also use like ASP.NET, MVC 5, anything. Now click on OK buttons. So you can see here our application console application has been created. Now there is class program and class void main. First we need to check what data we need to pass. So go to this. We know that our input JSON, what will be this input JSON. So first we need to make a class for this input JSON. For making class of input JSON, open this JSON to sort. I have copy and paste in browser and click on this. So you can get convert JSON to C# online class. So first need this one JSON, put here and click on convert. So you can see here public class root. Our class will be created for this JSON. Copy this one. Now go to consume applications and make a class like this one. You can change the class name like emp photo. Okay. Then this emp photo need to assign a value. So what will make it like make object emp photo obj emp photo equal to new emp photo. Now assigning the value of this object like employee object dot employee id 104 104. Then object emp photo dot emp name Raj and then after that, that is the integer, so need not to make a string. Okay, then object photo dot imply photo. So here we need to provide full name, full URL of the imply photo. So what will be the full URL? That the full URL. Now I have to write a code to consume the post method. So let us see. I have put consume web API and passing the object means object emp photo. Then I put dot wait. Then make a consume web API method. Click on preview changes. So you can get a method of this. So what needs some changes here? Like what? Async talks consume web API, and that is the imply photo object emp photo which are passing from the this contents, and remove this. I have already written code, so copy and paste here. Now see, where client equal to new HTTP client, add the namespace for this system net HTTP. Now here, where client equal to HTTP clients, client base address localhost 61552. So we need to check out the base address of this client, like 61631. First need to run, so 61613, that is the base address. So put here client base address. Then after that, the client.default request header dot accept dot clears. Then client defaults request header dot accept dot add need to like application JSON media type with quality with header, need to namespace for these system net headers. Then passing as a JSON string, make object as JSON string. Also need to add JSON. So go to tools, new get package manager, and browse JSON. Newtons of JSON need to add. Click on this, check and install. Click on OK. So your Newton.json has been downloaded and address. Go to here. Now need to add namespace for here using Newton's objections. So here passing a JSON string, so where string content new string content, and JSON need to object convert into JSON object emp photo. So I make object as JSON. So what to do here? I have write here JSON convert dot serialize object, and object imply from this the object will be converted into JSON string and encoding .utf-8 and passing the parameter like application JSON as a media parameters. Then after that we write a code response await client post async method. Then here I need to method name like emp API add emp photo, that is the custom URL, and string contents which come here. Then after that configure await false. If you are writing code for the UI, you need to use configure await true, otherwise console application you need to take false here. Then also need to write a code like respond dot ensure success status code. Then after that where response await client post async, that is the method name, then string content which comes here, passing the object as a string, then application media like application JSON need to pass and configure await false. So here you are writing code for UI using config await true. Here I am using a console application to consume push method. So I write here false method. Then response dot ensure success status code. Then dynamic result and result equal to blank. If response dot is succeeded status code, then result await response content read async status. So now I need to run these applications and say now run the applications. Our consume method start object required non-static field, so put here statics and now run the applications. So you can see here I am make object of this employee photo, then passing the parameter 104 already there. So I have changed 104 to 106 and put here name Raj and photo full URL. In case of production applications, need the full URL of and F10. So you can see here where client default address header and string content you can see here. So you can see our application go to the this method imply API methods, and after running these methods save database you get the response 201 and you can see here result the record says successful. So this way we can pass the data from the client machine to web API of push method. So once you need to see the code here, make a object and assign the value, then a consume web API method and passing the object into this. Then after that I have write a code static async task consume web API passing the objects here as a parameter. Then I have write here where client new HTTP client base address new URI client or default header accept clear and assigning the default request header application JSON, and after that the object need to convert into JSON format. So JSON converter serialize object, and here I have write like response await client post async method passing the method name and string content configure await and false, then response ensure status code dynamic result. So this way we can write here also for consuming the post method for saving the employee ID name and their image. Thanks for watching my YouTube videos. If you want to more videos, please subscribe my YouTube channel.